Forgot the fan. Brandon.
Oh,
Is my fan on?
Hello,
No.
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I'm a mess up. How are you today?
Hi.
And that's the intro. Welcome, everyone, to the Garworth Podcast number 0.3, I believe this is going to be.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
This
it
is
is.
brand new.
Hmm.
I thought I missed it.
No, this is.
No,
we're
you're
still
here.
Still in the beta phase.
With me today is Brandon,
Hello.
Gabe,
It is I.
Matthew,
Hi.
Jonathan,
That's me.
and I'm Nick.
That's him.
And Gabe needs to turn down his headset because I can hear myself echoing.
Turn down my headset's not plugged in.
Turn
Gabe.
down for what?
I'm
No.
hearing myself. I can't be hearing myself. Anyway, so Tanner's not here today. He's doing band stuff. But
He's on symphonic band tour.
we have Matt for the first time on the podcast, and we have a good friend of ours, John. So this ought to
Hello.
be.
You'll know from Tomb Raider, Worms, and
Wait, hang on.
Destiny Vault of Glass.
Destiny.
You said I was a good friend?
I find you a
he
good
decides
friend,
if he wants to be.
Yeah.
Alright.
It's usually up to him.
Yeah.
Today
so,
we'll say I'm a mediocre friend.
okay, sounds about right.
That sets the tone.
Hey boy, you're my best friend.
Okay, well
he is
besides
his best
yeah,
friend.
besides Gabe.
We have Gabe because of John. That's yeah.
And
And
now
we still have
very
John because of
ironically,
Gabe.
We have John because of Gabe.
Yeah.
It comes full circle.
Yeah, right.
So, John, I believe you had something you wanted to talk about.
Oh, yeah, it was minor. It just happened before we started. But
I figured I'd start us off.
so, as you all know, I play RuneScape a lot.
Yep.
And
A lot.
one of my friends that I haven't seen forever, like in a long time, just got back on today. And he said hi, and he asked me what's been going on in the game. And I haven't been on for 2 months because I've been away. And so I told him I didn't know. And he goes, oh, that's cool. The only reason I got back on is to celebrate my birthday. Which means he has nothing better to do in real life than get on a game that he hasn't played in 2 years on his birthday. I just thought that was really sad.
Oh, that poor guy.
Oh.
But that's it. That's all I wanted to say.
Sad story.
It's a bad story, but
Also sad, but I mean,
Oh.
mediocre
You know,
at best.
both.
it's mediocre at best. I'd give it like a 3 out of 10.
Maybe tell again.
No.
Tell again.
Not even. It's my own story, and I'm not gonna tell it again.
Take it to the grave.
I just thought it was kind of, I don't know, sad.
It was depressing.
Hmm.
But anyways, that's
Uh,
me.
That's a cheery note to start on.
Yep. All right. Let's make it less depressing.
Tell us where you've been.
Me? Oh,
It's been a while.
that's even more depressing, dude.
Why?
You think basic training's fun? I don't think it
anyone thinks
is.
it's fun. We just.
I
think
mean-
you had to be there.
It wasn't that
Yeah,
bad.
be there.
I got a lot of good stories. So they yell a lot, but they yelled at a lot of other people besides me because I wasn't an idiot. But this one time, this kid came out of the bathroom with, or they call it a latrine, but he came out of the latrine with his towel wrapped around his waist because we just got done showering, and he had something like it was something weird. So the MTI started yelling at him. And the kid turns at the MTI, and he went to the position of attention because that's what you're supposed to do when you're about to talk. But in doing so, he took his hand off the towel, and the towel just dropped on the ground on the floor. So he was just naked, completely naked in front of this MTI, and this MTI is just staring at him, like didn't really know what to do for a second, and then he just started yelling at this naked kid. It was hard not to laugh.
Oh goodness. I've heard the
Because
best.
if you
stories
laugh,
come
you'd
from
have to
training.
strip down.
Oh
and
no!
everything.
If you laugh, you get yelled at. So It was like everyone. It was a mad dash back into the bathroom because everyone was trying to hide their smirks.
Now, here's the real question: do you think that's the first time it's ever happened to him?
Oh, guaranteed it wasn't. I mean, this has to happen at least like once every time. I can't imagine
Some kid lets their towel drop.
some kid just is like. I mean, it's like the first week too, so he was just scared to death, and he just walked out in the MTI, just like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And the kid just turns and, well, that was that.
Oh man.
Other than that, I mean, not really that bad. Texas is hot. That sucks.
I've heard.
Yeah. Oh, what am I doing? What are you all doing right now? You doing anything while you're talking?
No,
I'm playing. Really? No one's just like playing a game?
I
No.
wasn't.
We kind
I
of,
was watching something.
We try not to.
yeah.
Really?
It's
Okay,
good to
well,
keep yourself
I'm-
occupied. You don't really.
I'm
keep yourself
definitely not playing a game right now.
occupied.
I don't.
No,
I
I
mean,
just talk.
I just wanted to make sure you weren't.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
I appreciate it. You
Yeah.
know, it's funny that so I started work up here at school, continuing my job at Hannaford Bakery, greatest
Mm.
place to work of all time. It'll kill me. And
Keep being more specific every time you talk about it.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
and so I go into work for my first day up here because I'm just working at both while I'm at school and at home. And
Yep.
I have a new coworker, obviously, and I start talking to her or whatever. And
Ooh. Tell me more.
I have another story to back that up. We'll come back to that. So I'm talking to her, and she's like, "Oh, you're from." Yeah, no, yeah. Well, whoops. Our
Nice.
hometown. And
We've been
she starts talking
exposed.
about people that she knows, and because she's up here at school with me, and of course, sitting next to her in her geometry class apparently is someone named Lilia.
Oh.
So one of my
Oh.
first interactions with this woman whom I've ever met, she brings up this person, and I look her dead in the eyes. I'm like, she's a heartbreaker. And she's like, what do you mean? And I'm like,
Oh,
oh, she
dear.
tore my man to shreds.
Brandon, that's awesome.
That's hilarious. Is there
So-
any more to this?
So we were just talking, and she's like, yeah, no, she seems really smart and stuff. I'm like, yep, she's a runner. And I just like kept dropping
Why?
little bits
Brandon.
as we would talk.
Oh.
So we were
Now
just chatting
we
about
need to
that.
go into the backstory of all this now, don't we?
I
No,
mean, if
I
you
think-
want to,
I
go as
think
far
we're
as
good.
go as deep as you want.
Yeah,
But
you can allude to that as much as you choose. It's
All right.
that's as far as I'm going.
I'll give him the short version. I dated Lilia for a little while, and it ended not so well for me. So they like to tease me about this.
complete and total destruction.
Yeah, what Gabe said. They like to make fun of me, anyways.
Not just moral defeat. It was like 3-year moral defeat.
Dude, it was brutal. It was bad.
But
And then
we've
he went
moved
off the
on,
basic.
right? We're living a healthy, positive lifestyle now.
Every now and then someone will mention something, and I still inside die a little bit.
I don't make any
He's so
jokes.
positive.
So this is my first interaction with this person,
Ugh.
and so this has kind of set the tone for
Yeah,
for how
you
we.
don't say.
So we're very. I enjoy speaking with her. She's a very nice woman. But to go back to John's little bit of I was gonna he's either gonna post this on Twitter for my first ever Twitter actual post or send it in the chat.
Call a tweet.
But I was just gonna be like, why does every time, and it's funny because I mentioned the conversation we had, why does every time I have a good conversation with somebody who's of the opposite gender, they have to at some point include the 2 words my boyfriend at some random point
Oh.
during the encounter?
Yeah, no.
Rest in peace.
So it's like it's true. The good ones are gone for
Yep.
the most part. So
For the most part.
That
that was that was how my first day of work went. Speaking about childhood friends and cleaning various
that's
parts because the Hannaford I work at now has like no one ever shopping there. I saw 40 people all day.
Is that good or
So.
bad?
It's good because I don't have to do anything, but it's just boring.
so.
Boring.
I told you this before we started. That's a burp. But Monday I might be buying a car, a nice,
Oh, is that what that
car.
is?
not just any car. A Firebird is what it is. It's a 1967 Firebird for the car junkies out there. It's got a 400 in it with a 410 rear end. So it'll burn the tires really easily. So I'm kind of excited. I have like a 5-hour drive to grab it, but it'll be
You would never do that though, right, John?
burn the no. I mean, yeah. I follow the law completely, 110%.
You'd never go over the speed limit. Or...
That's right.
You'd never go over the speed
don't
limit, you
break
get a ticket.
laws.
Actually, so this is actually really funny you mentioned that. Where we live is kind of rednecky at parts. You get a lot of people like John who talk about cars in such a
I
manner,
was just gonna throw him in there with all those folks.
and sometimes they get worse and start doing it with trucks and
Oh
things
gosh.
of that nature. A friend of mine in English class the other day showed me an article. People are now trying to protect skid marks on roads as a way of speed.
Oh no!
to
So
be
I heard. Okay.
I saw about that.
So
to be protected under the First Amendment.
I heard about this on BLM. It's a radio station, not Black Lives Matter. Sorry, it's a radio station. I heard about this on a radio station. So our state has like the Onion, right? So there's something exactly like that for our state, and that was an article on there that they passed. They passed an article, so burning your tires is freedom of speech now. It's protected by that. So there's a video of some guy roasting his tires in front of a cop, just staring the cop down. The cop pulled him over and was like, "Dude, what are you doing?" So yeah, you get in trouble for that. But I saw that on Facebook too. I saw a post about it, and people were like, "Oh yeah, you can burn our tires now." And I was like, "Wow, they are stupid." And it comes to no surprise because they're just like, not the smartest people that would. Yeah.
I mean, if they'll,
I don't want to say too much about it, but there's a lot of not smart people that would be into that stuff.
I think a lot of people are just going by the thought of, if they legalize pot, they'll legalize anything. So.
Well,
think that
I
way.
mean, heroin's next. Let's be honest.
No.
I mean, why stop
Oh
at pot?
no.
Murder should be legal now.
Donald Trump's purge. I mean,
God.
we love our president.
So was the Easter Bunny.
Just makes you wonder if the wall's to keep him out or to keep us in.
Both.
They started that. I don't know if you guys saw, but
Maybe we're just turning America into one gigantic Thunderdome.
it's
Yes.
the Simpsons dome again.
America's gonna become the Hunger Games. Ugh.
I mean, that's why all the Battle Royale games are
I
coming
was
out.
gonna say that. Darn it.
We're simulating. I will
I mean-
always beat you to the punch.
We got the
Well,
tropics, we got swamps and stuff, we got like dry grasslands.
It's
we
perfect.
got
It's a
the
really
desert,
balanced map.
and we
I don't
got,
wanna play
the
Florida.
Rockies and mountains and
I
stuff.
do not want to play Florida. Keep me
Yeah,
out of there.
Screw the Gators. No offense, Gators.
Where we're dropping?
Cool
Kansas?
looking and all, but I don't like
Florida's
3,000
literally
pounds of
the
crushing
worst
force.
Gabe has a deep hatred for Florida. That
I do.
is unprecedented.
It's
I have a
Very
Not like me.
unprecedented.
a disgusting place. Like worst places on the world. It's like North Korea, and then like straight up like Florida's like the most awful place ever.
Why
Like,
Florida?
dude, you ever seen anything about anything from Florida at all? That place is filled like run amok with like there are no rules. There are nothing sacred there. You see constant things about like they're all racist, and like the weather is just like I'm sure it's like
He's flailing with his words. Twitter will tell you all you need to know.
His
Just all you
mind
need
is
Twitter about it.
his mind is moving too fast for his
But nobody
mouth
knows his
to
Twitter.
like.
Mhm.
First of all, okay, so a lot of they're really racist.
Are they?
Everything I see come out of there is super racist. But B, it's also a part of the deep south, which I also really don't like. They're just crappy, like hot, swampy weather, and then like just like there, no one in the south leads happy lives. Like you can't convince me that that's like ever seen any of those like
What?
top 10 lists? Like Florida's like the most unhappy state in America. Like no one below like Washington D.C. or like I don't know, the Virginias lead happy lives. Like I don't believe that. It's just a really god awful. It's like America's butt. It's like the butt crack of America.
Sorry, did you just say the Virginias?
Yeah, Virginia and is
West
it West
Virginia.
Yeah, there's two. Don't.
There's
don't
two.
add
I don't know.
Nick.
It sounded weird.
There's the Virginias, the Dakotas, the Carolinas.
Yep.
The New England.
I don't know my states anyway, so I could obviously
Well,
get that wrong.
I just okay. You know what? I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is and demonstrate firsthand. So here's a list of the things I found about Florida lately. Article.
You keep a list, dude.
I post every crappy thing I see about Florida on my Twitter.
So he's
check
just
this.
gonna put his at and Florida and then read
Look,
everything that he's
I
tweeting.
swear to God, half of these could come out of the onion. Florida woman thought her 37-week pregnancy was bad Chinese food. Miami club shut down after a video of a woman riding a horse onto the dance floor. Florida teacher told students not to date anyone acting like an N-word. Florida's school teacher busted for secretly running a white nationalist podcast.
I guess we better watch out then.
Like, it's just
That's
the most
competition.
awful place ever. Literally nothing has ever good come from Florida. Ever.
I think the best one was the Chinese food pregnancy.
Yeah, like I'm not kidding. Like you could start up the Onion like article title generator and it could be a legitimate story from Florida.
How much Chinese food did she eat?
That place is awful.
It's also
Like-
doesn't it also have one of the highest like percentage of old people? As
Well, I
everyone
think a
tries
lot of
to-
old people fly down there for the winter.
Yeah.
Yeah, all
Like-
the snowbirds. Like
The
all the old
birds.
people that live up here, like go down there.
Mhm.
Oh man.
It's just I'm not unwarranted in my feelings. I promise you that.
I
I'm
don't
just
know if this-
surprised that you legitimately keep a list of everything you hate about Florida. I mean,
I like to post about it every time I see something new to remind people how truly terrible it is.
you
I've
hate
seen
Florida
plenty of
more than
these.
I hate anything in the.
I might honestly. It's a god awful place.
And there's a thing that I hate a lot, and you know.
I do. I don't know if I hate Florida that much. I might. It's probably about even.
All right. Wow, that's intense. That's a burning rage.
Oh, if we're talking about things you hate,
Oh god.
one of the guys you hate who goes up here as well.
Uh,
Was seen the other day, rollerblading around the campus with another
Oh
fella.
yeah, that was so funny.
Nice.
what?
Yeah,
You're
Yeah.
rollerblading?
So I was coming back from the gym, little
I like
self
that
promotion
guy.
there, and he was doing like circles around me with his little friend there.
Oh
And then
gosh.
as I was walking back to my dorm, I kept seeing him in various places, and then he like went like by my dorm and then was like going back, but he was just rollerblading all around campus.
All
Dude,
right,
he's legitimately the most like.
you can.
I don't have words that I'm
Nice.
allowed to say.
Yeah.
Nice.
More honestly, okay. So just to demonstrate, those were all stuff I found in the past. I just looked up Florida on Facebook, and the first thing I found was Hallandale, Florida cop Alex Rodriguez watching porn on police-issued laptop. The first thing that came up.
Brandon brought this up.
What goes on down there?
It's terrible. It's nothing but a bunch of crackheads and alligators.
I wonder if they work together.
Or worse, crackhead alligators.
Yeah.
Imagine how scary that would be.
I shut down someone one time who tried to come at me. They were like, Florida's not that bad. You stop it. And I was like, look, they were like, Florida will rule the world someday. And I was like, yeah, maybe if crackheads or alligators ever become the dominant species. I was like, maybe. I was like, but until then, it will just continue to be just like, ugh.
Florida's, is one of the states that has the chance of not being part of this country anymore when the waters come a flowing.
You know what, Gabe?
Hey,
By the time we're
man.
in our 50s, you won't have to worry about Florida anymore.
Yeah, thank God.
Around the time you'd be moving to Florida, there won't be a
Am I right?
Florida.
The bad thing is all the Floridians will have moved somewhere else in the U.S. and they will start to corrupt the rest of us. Is it Floridian?
People, it's Floridian.
Yeah.
It sounds like toothpaste.
It's
Floridian.
good.
Kind of fluoride,
Floridian.
Floridian.
Names
Don't you
for
love
like
that
people who live
Floridian
in
feeling
states.
in your mouth? No, never mind. I'm gonna rephrase that.
Names for people from states are weird. Like I swear, like they just crazy people made them
What's
up.
ours, Nick?
Huh?
What's ours?
It's Mainers.
Yeah, that's
mean,
right.
Still not great. It's,
There you
it's
go.
less
What do they
ridiculous
call
than
people from
Floridians.
Minnesota?
Minnesotans?
Minnesota?
I think they're Minnesotans.
I don't know. That's actually a really good
Minutes.
question.
Do you want me
Like
to
you
look
can't
up a
just
list?
put Ian at the end of it and have it work for everything. Like Michiganian?
Are people from Kansas Canadian?
No, that's people from Maine.
Fair.
Good one, Jack. Good one.
We're basically our Canada.
Hey,
Let's be honest.
How have you been, Matt?
Oh yeah, that's right. Matt's here.
Florida man beats
Everything.
pregnant girlfriend with fire extinguisher, shoots her before killing himself.
What?
I
So now
told
you're
you.
looking this up.
I told you.
everybody's
Judge
on
rules
Florida,
shooter
man.
who idolize mass shooters can buy guns.
Dude. That's a messed up state.
Ugh.
Hey, so Tanner's not here. He'd be the right person to talk about this with. But Infinity War, anybody?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. I
Trust me,
cannot wait to
Tanner's
see
already
that.
organizing when we're going to get up.
All right, that's good. I still need to get over and see Black Panther because I did not have the opportunity to see that because I
I
wasn't
haven't seen
allowed
anything.
anywhere near entertainment for the last,
Gabe just tweeted that he hates
It's
Florida
real good.
I've heard
Yours
I've-
is real good.
just now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get into.
I've heard good things about it.
It's a good movie. Okay, I don't want to. It's a good movie. I just thought that it was
There's a few things.
overhyped for the wrong reasons.
Mhm.
And
Gabe,
what?
were there not enough Mexican people in it for you? Is that what it was?
That really wasn't what
Discriminated
it was.
against? All right, just making
No.
sure.
That really wasn't what it was. Trust me, I deal with social oppression every day.
I mean, you came here, man.
I
Hey,
do
wait
too.
a minute.
tall kid with freckles, Scottish. It's
Hitler
hard
would have
life.
loved you.
You're only here because you in the neighboring country couldn't make potatoes.
Yeah, well, no, that was dude. That wasn't us.
I'm sure Scotland
conversation keeps
suffered
getting
from the
worse.
Great Potato Famine as well.
The
You
Great
can't tell me
Potato
that was
Famine.
strictly a region-locked issue.
Region locked.
I don't know if Scotland had a. Oh, that's a good question. I know Ireland had a.
That's what I'm saying. I just like, there's no way that like they didn't have some of
It's a
those
long
issues.
time to go without French fries.
Yes, yeah. What would America do now with a potato famine?
Eat
Oh,
something
die.
other than
Ship it in
potatoes.
from somewhere else.
Yeah, we're America, man.
What would you do without French fries?
I don't know. Home fries.
How?
Boom.
What? Are you?
Yeah.
What?
Mashed potato, hash browns.
Dude,
More
there's a lot of
potato.
What would you
There's
do
a
without
lot
chips?
of delicious foods that are
All
just straight up
chips.
potato.
Potatoes are
cooked in different ways.
fantastic.
Seriously, you can have potatoes. One of those magical like foods where it's like, think about it. You can have hash browns for breakfast, French fries for dinner, baked potato or French fries for lunch, and baked potatoes for dinner.
Dinner
Yeah.
depends
There's
on where you
not
are.
a single time of day that you can't eat a potato.
Or you can just ball out and have French fries every meal of the day.
Or you could do that. Don't recommend it.
Die.
You'll look like most of America at that point.
That's why do you think America looks this way? Because we can have French fries all the time.
Every day.
For the low
Thank you.
price of
French
not
fries
low
are the
price.
most American thing ever.
It's
'Cause
pretty
they're
up
French.
there,
I mean,
Are they? No, they're not.
hamburgers.
They're Canadian. I don't know.
poutine, eh?
Hamburger.
What would be the so they're called French fries, but what would be like the last country to expect to invent like French fries? Like, oh yeah, let's have some French fries. They were made in Jamaica or something like that.
Myanmar? How about that? Is that a good enough for
What?
anyone?
What did you say?
I'm pretty sure that's where that like flight went down.
The Bermuda Triangle.
I'm pretty sure that's not a place.
Oh, it's a real place.
No,
Look it
it's
up.
definitely a place, and it's definitely where that like was it like a Malaysian flight that no
No,
one
that
ever
went down
found?
nowhere. No one knows where it went down. That's the point.
Yeah, they know roughly where it went down.
Went down into the abyss.
It did, I'm pretty sure. It's in one of the deeper trenches. Probably. Actually, a really cool thing happened lately.
Wait.
Oh, it's by Thailand.
A bunch of people got like all these voice messages and like and things, and they were starting to freak out. They thought it was like weird like aliens that killed the flight are coming for us, but it turns out that like people were saying due to like the rotation of like I don't know, radio signals or something to do with the earth, like the black box was like sending out signals and people's like phones were receiving them.
Huh.
And they were getting like because they were getting like coded messages. And people were saying it's a very real possibility that like due to like I don't know, like I said, like magnetic field shifts or what have you, whatever, that like the black box was like sending out signals and
Due to science and stuff.
yeah, lots of science.
Due to things smarter than I.
Yeah.
I mean, my phone interferes with my old mic all the time. So I mean, it's
I
possible.
still don't know
that-
how you do that.
I don't even.
That right there is a feat of science.
I have been cursed with the
You-
technology
you-
curse
you
from that distorted state.
Unintentionally created like your own ECM jammer.
I played too much Payday.
I mean, maybe that thing that was in the Hill House actually came with me.
Uh-huh.
Nice, Gabe. Nice tweet.
Thanks.
He hates Florida.
What did he say? Oh, he hates Florida.
Yeah. Well, I do.
I mean, my skin falls off when I go there, so I hate it too. But I
What?
like Kennedy Space Center.
Wait.
So
So
Elaborate.
that's a sunburn.
I think
Oh.
no, I get sunburned so bad, my skin literally falls off.
Okay.
That's how sunburns work.
Yeah, well, it's
I-
bad.
Did
I-
not
I-
know what he meant.
I went out there for like an hour and came back in, and it's just peeling off.
You're
It's
Also
not cool.
a vampire.
It's a lot of direct sunlight. No. To be fair, like when I went to California a few years ago, there was like you just forget how much open space and direct sunlight that there is. That like I like my skin. I almost got a sunburn. Believe it or
Texas
not.
is the same way.
Like because we're just not accustomed to the amount of sun. Like and to give you a reference, like I don't think I've ever had a sunburn. Like in all seriousness, I don't think I've ever sunburned, but I came pretty close in California.
I got a sunburn in Texas a couple
Yeah,
times.
but you burn pretty easily, to be fair.
A couple times the whole week. The whole time I was there. I
Whole
just said
week.
week. It was more than a week.
It's almost like it was 8 or something.
It was actually funny because when I got back inside at the end of the night and I got to take my cover off, I had a perfect tan line where it was. So like the top of my head and my forehead, the upper half of my forehead was like white, like I was been in Maine the whole time.
But
But the rest of me was like red, like a lobster, and people were
But
making fun of it.
was it as perfect as the tan line you get from haying every day?
Nothing could beat that tan line. That's a whole different type of perfect. That's what that
The
is.
Farmer's tan line is a whole different type of perfect.
I mean, it's pretty
Yeah, that
special.
whole-
I mean, I haven't been on the fam for quite a few years now,
gotta
but
say,
back
Yeah.
Guy.
ain't nothing like that friggin' tan you get on the friggin' tractor there, dude. Oh, it's
Oh
wicked.
gosh, let's not.
Oh,
We-
it's wicked.
No.
Well,
Please
yeah,
stop.
bub.
I'm not joining into this.
That hurts. My
What's
brain.
next? We're gonna start going brap brap brap.
No,
that's
no. We're
winter's
above
over.
that. We're
can't do that
civilized.
anymore.
We're civilized and intelligent.
Oh, I
people.
thought it was a dirt bike. My bad.
We can
No,
appreciate.
what?
No, it's anything with an engine because they can.
Anything with an engine.
They honestly abuse anything with an engine.
Yeah, but
I
some
mean,
engines
lawnmower
sound
racing.
not to get technical, but some engines sound different.
I mean, yes.
Brap is typically a snowmobile. In the wintertime when you're carving through that deep powder.
Sled.
What song am I listening to right now?
I don't know. You tell us.
Right Down the Line by Gary Rafferty. And I like old music. I've never heard this. It's because it's not rock and roll. It's like super slow. Let's see. What do I
Of
want?
course, we know John only listens to rock and roll.
It's true.
Okay.
I could
so
go
That's
for
not
a little
true.
Montrose
We
right
listened
now.
to NWA for a week when Straight Outta Compton came out.
Yeah, man. And then I was like, wait, what am I doing this for? I'm white.
We got
Make it
super,
last. That's
we
what I
got
want.
super hyped that whole week though when that movie came out.
Yeah, I think I got hyped because you were so hyped. I got hyped.
Yeah, I was
That's what
excited.
it
It was good.
was. I don't even listen. I don't listen to rap at all. Not my thing. But I
got
was
that
like,
movie on
I
Steam.
just started listening to NWA and was like, oh, cruising down the street, my
Yeah.
6-4. Then I was ready for it, and then it came and passed, and then I
And
went
they
back to
tried
rock
do
and
the
roll.
Tupac
Yeah,
movie.
and then they almost made a good one about Tupac until they gave him an iPhone.
Yeah. People were not happy with that at all.
I mean, it's warranted.
With how much money like they have for sets and different things, they could have gotten him a different phone. They could have done something.
Oh man,
They probably had a marketing deal with Apple. That's got to be what it was.
Common thing.
Uh.
So, does anyone like Spyro?
no idea what.
I broke my first gaming console because of that game. Because I didn't have a memory card, so I just kept it on for 3 days. Turns out the PS1 sucked a lot, and it broke.
It's a common early system thing.
Kept it on.
Well, you can get it again with the Spyro Trilogy Collection.
Yeah, I was just wondering if anyone was excited about it. I wanted to mention. it.
I never
Um,
played it.
I played some Spyro game. I think it was a Game Boy game or something. But I played a Spyro game at one
I
point.
played very little, but
I remember just like having a lot of fond just thoughts about Spyro though. So like when they as a trilogy, I'm like, oh, that sounds delightful. Just seemed
it's
like a,
it's
It's
definitely
nice.
something I'll pick up when it's cheap.
What
That's
are
when
they
it's not a full
cheap?
price. there.
What are they releasing on the PS4?
everything. Well, Xbox
Everything?
especially. I believe so.
Because
PS4 is really marketing it, but it's on.
It looks like
Because,
PS4 and Xbox.
Wasn't it originally just a PlayStation game? Or
I think it's bounced around.
Wasn't it?
Was
It
it?
was GameCube first, wasn't it, or something?
It's been on multiple things. I don't think it's straight PlayStation.
it's never been on Xbox though, has it?
I don't think it's been on Xbox, but I think it bounced between Nintendo and PlayStation and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like 1 and 2
Although
were
Nintendo used to have a lot of
PlayStation.
Yeah.
It's marketed mostly as PlayStation. Yeah,
Man,
it
you
seems like
remember the days
PlayStation
of
was the big
Xbox
hitter.
DS?
I don't think anything Nintendo related.
Hashtag make Halo great again.
Wasn't
wait,
there
or-
quite a
or
few
kill it.
PlayStations before Xbox though?
What?
there was
Wasn't
wait,
there like several
PlayStation 1?
before-
Well, I'm sorry. Wasn't there because Richardson was talking about the PSX and then the PS1 and then
Mhm.
because I think PS2 and Xbox original are around the same era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the PlayStation or the PSX and then the PlayStation 1.
I didn't pop into consoles besides 64 until 360. So I played a
I-
bit of
the
64
only-
and then I started on 360.
The only real
That was around that era.
experience I had was like a friend of mine back in like that I was friends with from like preschool like all the way up through middle school because we went to different high schools. He had a GameCube and that's where I played Smash Bros all the time.
Is his name the same as mine?
Yeah, whenever John and I used to hang out like all the time, and we always played Smash Bros. On
How
his.
funny is it that your best friend from like your childhood is the same name as your best
Yeah.
friend from high school? That's right.
You guys are actually kind of the same too. Like John was like a real like kind of woodsy, sporting, like outdoorsman type of guy.
You ain't darn tootin'.
Yeah, he actually
What?
he still does. He trap like mink or what have you.
Oh yeah.
His dad used to get like 3 or 4 deer a year because he'd get all the deer he could in Maine,
Oh yeah.
and then he'd go to New York and he'd get deer there, whatever the deer cap is there, because I don't remember what the deer
So
cap
he'd
is.
shoot the one deer you're allowed to shoot in Maine, and then he'd go to New York.
And then after that, he would go to Canada and he'd hunt elk and he'd hunt deer in Canada.
Oh geesh, that guy's insane.
Yeah, so you'd really max out at
I
hunting.
was telling all these city slickers down at Basic about animals because they were like, "Oh, you live in Maine. There must be like moose there." And the first thing I said wasn't, "Yes, there's moose." The first thing I said was, "Yeah, I've killed one." And you could just see some of them would be like mortified, and you could see it all over their face as soon as you say it. And some of them would be like interested. They'd be like, "What else have you killed?" And then I just list off like like a dozen animals.
He's a murderer.
I mean, you're only a murderer if you kill humans.
No,
Mostly?
you can't kill dogs or cats.
Yeah.
Well,
Do that.
kind of.
Well, I mean, just go to China. It's fine over there.
I don't think I've
You
ever
say
killed a
that.
cat. Like,
My grandfather did once. He used to work at like a factory type thing, and he'd come home at like 3 a.m. And when he got home, he had a big deck, and he had like a out below it. John, you know that like
he had a big deck.
Yeah.
He would come home and he would shine a light down into his garden, and he'd shoot at anything that had like reflecting eyes. And he shot the neighbor's cat once.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Trying to act like I've never heard this story before. It's really hard to do. I think honestly, I think you might have told me that story like that might be like the 5th or 6th time.
I tell it a lot.
Dude,
It's a real good pocket story. You know,
I think I've heard all of your stories at least twice.
Like an old married couple.
In a roundabout way,
What?
I've killed a lot of cats.
On the oh my Nick, if you want to go into that, you can. But I have a story.
Go ahead. Really
When I was a lot younger, we were shooting it was just the BB gun out back. I think we were shooting actual guns and then the BB gun as well. And at one point, my dog was supposed to be inside, and so she comes barreling out. That was Dixie at the time,
Oh God.
and she comes running out, and she runs right in front of my dad, and he basically shoots her right in the mouth with a BB gun.
Ow.
And
Oh.
I was
Probably a Red Rider though, so I didn't think.
I was attempting. She was fine. Everything was okay.
Yeah.
But later that night, I was attempting Boy Scouts, and then I quit because there's too much paperwork. And
Yep.
I
Right.
was getting fingerprinted by game wardens,
Huh.
and a little fun activity you do.
No, they got you in the system.
I got fingerprinted
And-
once.
I told that story to him, and then my neighbor at the time would always just try and get after us. She said we were mistreating our animals because we had the farm, we had cows and stuff.
Oh,
She said we were mistreating our animals and
done
stuff.
messed up.
And so he came to check on it. The cows were as happy as could be. My mother took way too good care of them, and they were like the happiest, fattest, best things ever. So he's like, nothing's wrong. You're fine. She's just a crazy lady, which she is. But that guy, like, knew my dad, and told him that I was telling him that he shot his dog with a BB gun in the mouth. So I came around full circle back to my parents.
That's nice.
Wow.
You were beat.
That was a good little bit.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid. Anyone ever seen the Christmas Story? Someone has to have seen that,
I
right?
saw it
Yeah.
way later than it was out. Yeah.
Don't
I
lick
saw
the
it-
yeah, I
lamppost
mean-
in the middle of winter.
Well, no, I mean, like, I was quite old. I think I was like my 13, 14 or so.
Oh
before I
yeah,
saw
My
no,
it.
mom
I
used-
was. That's a classic though.
My mom used to play it all the time whenever Christmas came around. Like my mom had like a set of like a few movies that she'd always play, and A Christmas Story was one of them.
Grinch and Polar Express is my house. That's
Yep.
Polar
all.
Express is the
Polar
greatest
Express.
We
movie of
always
all
watch the
time.
claymation Rudolph.
Oh,
Also
my mom
classic.
loves that one.
Yosemite Sam. Dang it, no silver.
Dude, my
Nobody
mom,
wants a Charlie in the box.
my mom loves all the old movies. She
I'm
has
a
like,
Raggedy Susan.
Why
he
do you
has,
know
like,
so many
ton
quotes?
of like old like Looney Tunes like disc sets. She has like a Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck one, a Yosemite Sam one, I think a General one. Like my mom loves those.
What was the guy's name in that? The Rudolph one? It wasn't Yosemite. It was something else. I got confused. I haven't watched it in a little while, but what was that guy's name?
Santa Claus? What?
The one that
No.
the one that walks around. He's always looking for silver, and he like licks his ice pick, and he's like, "Darn it, no silver." You know that guy?
I know who you're talking about.
I
don't
can't
know
think
his
of his name either.
Someone look that up.
I worked on it.
I already got
Alright.
you.
You do? Okay. That's gonna drive me nuts.
Eager prospector named Yukon Cornelius.
Yeah, Yukon
That's it.
Cornelius. That was it.
Voiced by
I don't know
Larry
why I
D.
said
Man.
Yosemite Sam.
Yeah, I just let you go for it.
That's way off.
I mean, none of us corrected you.
No one
Well,
corrected
I didn't
me,
correct him
but I knew.
because there's like
I
a
knew.
10% that was like, maybe he's right. It sounds off, but maybe. I don't know the name anyway, so.
I knew I was wrong. That's all that matters.
Yep.
Whew.
I'm never wrong.
I mean, you're not
except
wrong.
for when I know I'm wrong. That makes sense.
A little bit of a callback.
Get to
If
Chris
you want to
Evans.
go,
Yeah, you're gonna say
if
the
you-
time I was wrong, right?
no, if you like hunting, Big Buck Hunter Arcade is out
Oh, geez.
on the channel. It's our new series. If you want to come out, it came out April 1st. If that says anything, but Big Buck Hunter Arcade, a nice little playthrough with Danner and I. If you want to check that out,
Jeez,
edited by yours truly. The first
The one and
non-Nick
only.
edit on the channel. I'd say it's something special.
oh wait, Nick's edited everything. So
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
everything but that.
The channel is Nick, except for personalities.
That's why whenever there's anything about getting rid of Nick or killing him, we come out with we can't. He's our editor. We need him.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's Nick.
And if
you
anybody's
finally
watched
made
Brandon's
yourself-
video, you know you don't have a choice.
It
Whoa.
was my first time ever, and I
I'm playing
did
with you,
it
Brandon.
one
I'm
night.
playing with you. If anyone wants
He's
a
not.
comparison, you can compare just. I think I said Plants vs Zombies: Garden Warfare 2. What's the title of that? I think it's
It's Vikings.
all football players were Vikings, I believe, or something like that.
Yeah.
That's about the.
Wow.
That would be about the same time that. It's about comparable. Because that would
It
be around
ain't-
when I first started. That's what that would be like. So,
As Nick put it, because it did come out on April Fool's Day. As Nick put it, the joke wasn't the game or the fact that it was going to be a series, but according to Nick, it's my editing. That's the joke.
Nice. Got him.
Roasted.
Just to quote the man who looked me dead in the eyes when he said that.
I love you, Brandon. You're
Didn't see the
you're one of my
tears.
best friends.
Wait,
I love it.
are any of you in person?
No.
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 All right.
We're all
The only
in.
in-person groups is Tanner and I. Moves away.
I'm in person with myself. No. You know
Not
what?
your friend.
I'm just in
oh,
the
hey.
office, the den, just chilling out in the dark with you chaps.
I'm chilling out in my room by myself.
You mean the living room?
We all literally we all are.
Wait, do I have a guitar next to my name yet?
Your icon has a
Yes.
guitar, if that's what you
Okay.
mean.
I play guitar, by the way.
Very well, I might add.
Oh, see, you know I'm good because my friends aren't making fun.
No,
That's
we just
see, this
Just
has been my
reminded of
thing
women.
ever since I was a kid. I have two older brothers, so they always make fun of me
Rip John.
all the time, and they always put me down. And it's super competitive in my house. Has been ever since I was a kid. So when my brother started to say I was good at guitar, is when I actually knew like I was good at guitar. Because I mean, I could be good at something and they'd still tell me I completely sucked, like horrible, even if I was good at it. So when they finally say you're good at something, you know you're good at something. None of you, well, Nick, you have an older brother, but
Mhm.
you wouldn't know because you've never been good at anything. So obviously, it's gonna make you suck.
Oh, classic John.
In a way, not to get too emotional and cheesy, but we could say that we're all brothers, right?
Brothers
It's
from
been
another
a
mother.
long time that we've known each other.
Yeah.
I mean, Gabe's the newest recruit, and that's still like 4 to 6 years.
6 years now.
Oh God, it's been.
Time
Oh
flies.
God, I've known
I've-
Gabe
I
too
mean, it's
long.
I've known you
nuts.
guys.
I've known
I've
Gabe
known you guys
so
since
long.
like 2000. Well, we started high school in 2012, and I met you guys. What was it? 2013?
I met you in
No, it was
2012.
freshman year. I introduced.
Was it freshman year?
I think it was
Yep.
second half of freshman
No,
year.
no, 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 no,
Yeah.
no,
It
no,
was the second half. What?
no, because I wasn't in that school when he introduced you. Because
No, that's right. Because
It was
I didn't
sophomore
realize
year.
it was Nick until
Mhm.
after John told me it was.
because I went to
so
the
it
same
was
high school as
sophomore
Gabe
year.
and John for freshman
wait,
year,
wait,
and then
wait, here's the
sophomore
real
year I
question.
went to a different one. So
Who, so here's a real question though: who have I known longer, Nick or John?
Probably John.
that's an excellent
Probably
question.
me, because remember our study hall on like that first day of ever?
Was it? Because
We had a study hall together.
wasn't that on the white day versus I had science first block blue day with Nick.
No,
I swear because we
no.
Yes.
Are you telling me you know
Yes!
Nick longer than?
wait because wasn't study hall on a white day and wasn't it first block white day?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I had science blue day.
Science
First
Blue Day
class.
sounds correct.
I think
You want to talk about your first impressions of
I
Nick?
think technically
Gabe hates me.
I met Nick before you.
Oh,
But to be
gosh.
fair, we were mortal enemies.
We were.
We were not
sat-
friends.
We sat at the same square table, at science, and I really wasn't a fan of Nick.
I didn't like
I will
like
say,
him that much either. But
out
I
of
was
all of us
probably
here,
a bully, because you know what? In this, I hope
everyone's
no
a
one.
bully.
I hope
Just
none of
put
my.
water
I'm
on
gonna
my
get a little
nose.
personal. Because we sat. Who was it? It was Sydney. We sat
Yep.
next to, and who else sat with us, Nick?
I
Do you
only remember Sydney. That's it.
I only remember Sydney too.
Mhm.
But I know that Sydney also like. I don't think Sydney was a fan of you either, and yeah.
I don't
Out
think
of
anyone's
all
a
of
fan
us.
of Nick.
out of all of us, I think I think this is true. Nick is the only one out of all of us to get sucker punched at lunch.
No, not even just at lunch.
I mean,
just
that's
period.
not my
Period.
fault, really. But anyway.
So
But I-
Wait,
I
who
digress.
punched him?
Justin sat home. I mean,
He's a guy.
little fiery boy.
Did he really?
yeah.
Yeah. We've told
Oh,
the
yeah.
story. Yeah. He
yeah.
he was like harassing me during class.
I've heard the story
and
of
then-
Brandon throwing Mark, and I've heard the story of Jake almost beating up Nick, but I've never heard of Justin sucker punching Nick.
The short
How do you
version
do
is
this?
that
It's
he
a
was harassing
cop.
me, and then I wasn't having any of it, and then lunch came around,
Big
and
bad Nick wasn't having any of that.
yeah, exactly. No, and then lunch came around, and there was a bit of an. I don't know how it happened. I ended up accidentally pushing him off of the lunch table, and then he comes back around and full force like hits me.
Did it drop? Did you like straight up drop? Was it like a hard
No,
force
it definitely. It might not have been full force, but like, yeah, he hit me very hard. I was
Full force
very
for him.
still.
I'm pretty sure Nick cried.
I probably did. It hurt. It hurt. I'm weak. It hurt. Anyway, yeah. that's
You
how
don't
that
admit
happened.
to those things. We're supposed to hide them.
Nah.
I think
I was-
it's 2018.
I mean, what? It was 7th grade, maybe. Yeah, it
no,
needed to be
yeah, it was 6th or 7th.
6th or 7th, because I know whose class it was. I was in.
Man, We are old now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
we
old.
are.
Wow.
That was class of 2013.
That was a long time
We're
ago.
class of 2016.
Yeah.
It's been 2 years.
Graduate in 2020.
Graduate college.
I don't, but you do.
Brandon
I
does.
do.
I
If I make
graduate
it through.
the end of this year.
I don't want to.
Whew.
College is something. And more importantly, a couple of my professors, as I put in the group chat a few days ago, are just really rough. And make me not want to continue for the most part.
That's how everything is, though.
I mean, he's a special kind of
If your
jerk.
professors don't make you want to die a little bit inside, then are they even professors?
But the thing is, professors for the most part have a lot of kids that they'll upset, but there's like quite a few that still like them. This guy just makes everyone he passes, he makes their life worse with his presence. He's one of those kind of guys. One of the kind of guys to give in the last 3 weeks of school. He's the guy to give an extra 3 assignments and a research paper in the last 4 weeks of school.
I just realized I need to play Clicker Heroes.
Yeah, I'm on another ascension.
Yeah, I noticed.
Nerds.
Nerds.
Before I left, I transcended, I think is what it's called.
Yeah,
Nope, the big one. Not,
I don't
not,
do that one. Yeah.
I did that one, and now I have to work my way all the way back up through.
Yeah, no, I don't mess with that.
It's brutal.
They're coming out with a second one. I'm excited for it.
I'm
So
not.
I've got to beat this one because I've gotten up to like 2100, and the max is like 3600. So I've got a ways to go.
You're killing me.
It's a good game. It's a good game.
I'm too busy playing RuneScape right
Why
now.
am I online? Why am I appearing online? What happened to me?
Yeah, I
You
know,
were on
man.
Do Not Disturb last time?
That's why we were playing
I
games.
was, I was on Do Not Disturb. Oh, I thought. Okay, so there's this thing where I never appear online.
Yeah.
I just don't. It's easier. Life goes on. And so what started happening is, I don't know if it's just when he got up, when he wanted to play games, but Matt started to get into the habit of just inviting me to see
do
if
that.
I'm there.
I do that with you and Matt and everybody.
And
I don't think that the offline option should be there. I think it should be just do not disturb. Like it gets the same message across, but at least we know when you're around. Like, hey, like what's
no.
I don't like it's like, oh haha, literally no one ever knows. It's like
I don't want you seeing what I'm watching at like 4 a.m.
Porn. I
What
mean,
did
it
you
just says
watch?
YouTube or Twitch or
But I just don't want you to know that I'm up though.
who
Brandon,
cares?
everyone's up that
Brandon's
late.
ashamed of being up late.
I make bad decisions in college, all right?
I make bad decisions out of
Those are
college.
your decisions, so they're not my fault. So
Nick's whole life is a bad decision.
I made some okay ones.
He's doing
You
all right.
have?
Yeah. I mean, he's got free living.
I like free living.
That's more than all of us.
Wait, they changed the weakness on these things?
What?
What?
Foo.
What?
Fooey? Who remembers those?
Oh, me.
Fooey.
Jeez.
We need Tanner here for
Throwback.
that conversation.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
he can tell us about his video games.
Fooey. I was trying to remember what fooeys were for like 20 seconds. I couldn't think of it. I got it.
The monkey heads.
The monkey heads. Oh god, that's the essence
Oh,
of middle
Fooey.
school Tanner.
That's all I'm getting from that? What?
It's those things were
Darn
real
it.
bad.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Oh, no.
Okay.
That's going to be painful.
I mean, I have
You're
things I
telling
can
me,
bring
right?
up.
All right.
I hear what Nick's trying to do.
If I die, I'm going to be very upset.
I'm not trying to do anything. I don't know. So
A
wanna
large
talk about-
population that'd be upset if they just die.
So we recorded Kirby recently. That was just this last week.
That was a ton of
intense.
fun.
Kirby's ridiculous.
It is. I don't know. So
yeah,
that's,
no, I think
that's
he
gonna be coming
flipped
out.
in my spirit. He passed up.
Not fast up. It's gonna be coming out soon. This next week, it's gonna start coming out 2 times a week. It's gonna take forever to come out, just like Odyssey.
Watch it all.
It's gonna be pretty good, to be fair. There's gonna be some pretty good stuff in there.
And it's one continuous story because we didn't leave.
We did not.
No,
we got
we did not
leave.
leave.
We got food at one point, and that was it. That was the only time someone left the house.
I mentally left at one point.
I'm pretty sure I astral projected when I fell asleep in the living room. So don't leave windows open when you fall asleep.
Yeah, we kind of froze Matt for a while.
Oh
So
Lord.
close.
So close.
Nice.
No, I don't really have any topics. I'm gonna be honest. I had some
All
stuff
right.
written down, but nothing.
I thought I was prepared for this, but I don't have anything.
Oh wow, you okay? Let me put you on my back. Does anyone have any Advil before I go off on this tangent?
Is it as bad as my Florida one?
What?
John,
What?
go ahead.
All right.
Away.
You gave me permission, so just be prepared when this goes to a dark,
All previous rules apply.
dark place.
Dude, you should see my room. It's an abyss.
Turn the
Okay.
lights on.
So, quick question: who here follows sports?
Kind of, but not really.
Gonna have to move us to
And
the
you
sports
lost the
section.
audience. All right, moving on.
Very little.
Who here wants to know how mad I was when I found out the Patriots lost the Super Bowl?
I'm more interested now.
All right.
Isn't that like 2 months
We
ago?
were here for that.
That was
So,
so long ago.
I was
Wasn't I with
At-
you?
I was not here. I was in Texas getting yelled at. And then amidst all the yelling, we had classes here and there.
No,
walked
that's
into-
right. Because
I walked into class one day, and the first thing the MTI said was, "Hey, who wants to know who won the Super Bowl?" And everyone's like, "I do." And he's like, "Patriots lost. Haha. Tom Brady sucks." And
Yeah,
I
that's about the
instantly
gist of it.
was the only kid from New England in that room, and everyone was so happy. And I was just, they were so smug and content because they could tell I was seething with anger, just seething.
He
And I
didn't
was-
try.
Oh man, I was so mad. I was like just trash talking everybody, and they're trash talking me back. And I was like, no, y'all suck. I was like, every one of you sucks. I also just realized I said y'all, and I kind of want to die a little bit.
like a AC coming back from Arizona.
Uncultured
Yeah.
Southern swine.
Oh man,
Language.
Yep.
they were just lighting into me.
Dude.
The MTIs even dropped the MTI like charade, and they were just straight up ragging on me. Like just
So
I
was
hated
that,
it.
how was that? That was the. This is the first year in how many years that you and I haven't watched the Super Bowl together? How many years
Like
is it?
3.
Is it 3?
Yeah.
Which ironically, I don't think we've ever finished the Super Bowl. One
No,
year.
we always get distracted.
Well, the last year that they won, we all left because we thought they were doomed.
Yeah.
And then the first year we both looked at each other like at the halftime. We were like, neither of us really want to watch this. And like, didn't we watch the interview or something? What year
Yeah,
was
we watched the
God.
interview with Juan.
What? Yeah, I don't remember what we did the other year, but every year we never actually finished it.
I feel like there's a lot of people that do that. Like, yeah, let's watch the Super Bowl, and then they're like, man, this is actually kind of boring.
I actually watched it with my father this year. He invited me over and we just hung out and watched it, even though I don't watch sports.
Your real dad?
What do you mean?
The what?
His only
Wait a
dad.
minute.
My only dad.
Yeah, I'm with.
You only have one dad?
He only
Yeah,
has
he's
one
one of
What the
dad.
hell do you mean? How
My
long have you
parents
known
might
him?
be
Yes, he only
divorced.
has one dad.
I thought he had
But-
like another dad.
I mean,
No.
some people
What?
are.
My
you know,
parents
born-
both date people, but I only have one set
Are we
of
talking
parents.
about the last dude that his mom dated, who we all used to make jokes about, or something?
Yeah.
Talking about Andrew?
I have two
It's not
dads.
even the same guy anymore.
No.
Dude.
But we never. That was never Nick's dad under any circumstances.
No.
I don't get where you came up with that.
I don't know.
John doesn't pay attention. We all
I
know
feel
that.
like-
Clearly not. I mean, I don't
Clearly.
either. But Nick's only ever had one dad.
He's a
Will
great dad.
only have
He's a
one
real
dad.
good dad. The best dad.
I feel like Nick's had a lot of daddies.
No?
Sugar daddy.
But
No?
that's just me.
No. No.
Nah,
No.
awkward silence.
So
No.
close.
No, just no.
Just why?
I think I've decided the title for the
Hey,
episode already.
hey.
No.
This is cut.
It's all good.
No, it's not.
That's okay.
That's
Oh,
very
can we
awful.
just start spewing? You know.
No,
No!
it's almost
no,
over. Just
no,
wait
no,
a minute.
No spewing of any kind.
Just
Ah.
wait.
Pick a color.
What? Stop this. I
Purple.
don't know where this is going with it.
I don't-
Stop.
Don't come alive at the end.
Purple.
When I was growing up, Winky was my favorite
Matt.
Teletubby.
Good, cool. Matt,
Okay, wait,
wanna-
that needs to be in.
that's it. Matt,
You can't get
tell
that,
us
Nick.
tell us a story. I want to hear more from you for this podcast. Tell me a short story.
What kind of story are we looking for?
You got stories, man. Give us.
Yeah,
Tell
give
us
us
about
something. Give us
time.
something within reason of the rules here. Give me something I can put up.
Well, we could do lumberjacking with an actual axe or saw. So I'm not sure if you guys heard, but I had a friend back when I lived in Hollowell, like way back when. His name was Sergey. We were neighbors.
Sergey?
Heard of him?
Yeah,
Like Russian Sergey?
yeah, like Russian Sergey.
What other
Um,
Sergey is there?
I don't know.
Latin, you know.
Was
Sergey,
he-
like Russian Sergey? No. Mexican Sergey. Oh, yeah, that one. Like, dude.
But
I
okay,
heard
yeah.
him right.
Continuing on, he had a little brother named Vadim, and we would go out and do stuff in the woods sometimes, fool around, climb trees. Yeah, fool around. All
Don't
right,
phrase it that way.
we'd build little forts and stuff. They'd have spiders all through them because, nature, and no one likes that. The point is, we found a tree that broke one day, and it was leaning on another tree. So we figured it'd be a good idea to climb up on it and, jump on it.
Nice.
See if it breaks. So we send the smallest one up the furthest because logic. I go up, about 10 feet, and Sergey's the biggest one, so he's obviously not going on it at all. So we're sitting there jumping on it while
I'm
he's
Sergey.
okay. Well, he's sitting there holding on to it, like sort of like from ground level pulling, while me and Vadim are jumping on it. Eventually, we hear a crack. It snaps, and Vadim has it bust off right in his face, and he gets a whole bunch of scratches from the tinder. I fall underneath it, and it falls directly on me. And Sergey just had it fall on his head, and that was our
Ooh.
fun night. And we had to explain to his mom why Vadim's face was all cut up.
Ooh.
Unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
And that was just another night in third grade.
Third
Third.
grade.
The best. Third grade was
Young
Yeah,
Matthew.
That's the greatest part of that story. Oh. Very good. Very good.
I tried. I had to come up with something.
And you did it. That's the podcast.
Storytelling extraordinaire.
That's the podcast. Is that the podcast, Bren?
That's all, folks.
Are we ending?
That's all, folks.
Anyone else have a story?
That's
there
all,
on
folks.
it?
Not off the top of my head. No, I don't have any stories.
I explained my feelings today.
Okay.
Yeah, honestly, I'd love to tell a story, but I can't think of one. So I think we are just gonna wrap up, if that's all. Quite the quite the quite the experience that was.
This is something interesting.
Something interesting.
was-
Thank
Can
you.
I swear yet?
It's still
No.
beta.
No, yeah. Thank you everyone
Christ.
for joining me, for indulging in some conversation, for telling some stories. We should be back with a more normal crew next week. Maybe everyone. Maybe
No.
not. We'll have to see. Not everyone, not including John. That is, John's got better things to do.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I do.
We will see what
Gotta shoot
happens.
infidel.
The main five will be here next week to do another podcast for you.
You sound so excited.
Hopefully, that should be podcast number 1.
It will be the beginning.
Be
Wait, I
good.
thought we were on number like 4.
We're on point
Oh,
3.
to-
There's
to talk-
trust us. It makes sense. I
To
swear.
make a point about what Gabe said,
It's like Rambo titles.
the first person to ask me something at work yesterday was one of those women who are just overly eager to just say whatever she feels like. She basically asked me a question and looked at my face and she's like, "Well, you look real happy to be here, young man." And she
Nice.
walked away.
Yep.
So, was there any more to that story about that chick that knew Lilia? There
No.
wasn't.
No.
She didn't like go back and say anything to Lilia, then come back and be like, "Yeah, I mentioned the conversation." It
I
wasn't.
haven't
any of
seen
that?
her again.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
I'll keep you informed.
Oh,
have a weekly update
We'll
on
keep
the podcast.
everyone informed.
That's not. It's not appropriate. No.
Wait, are we done? Can we talk
Yeah.
about things?
No.
So yeah, go
no.
ahead.
Wait.
Because I wanna hear some
Wait.
bad stories. Because I've been gone for a long time, and I know you guys have.
We're gonna
stories.
end before the bad stuff.
I'm in heat.
Well,
We can have
can-
another chat
That's
after.
Can we?
Satisfying.
Are we ending then? Are we actually?
It's
ending?
over.
Yeah.
Is
wrap
it
up.
over though?
Go
The
home, folks.
podcast is over.
It's not.
It is.
It's not
It's
over until I
over.
say it's over, and there was not actually an over there.
That's just not there. It's over, man. It's just.
It's
It's
done.
over.
Goodbye, everyone. See you next time.
It's over.
See you in the next one.